Welcome everybody to this new event of the Fondazione per la Salutogenesis Onlus. I will briefly introduce the foundation, our guest and our translators. Our foundation is the only Italian foundation and charity. You can see behind me the Italian acronym Onlus, mean organization not lucrative or social utility. It means the equivalent of the English charity. We are the only Italian foundation and charity devoted to the paradigm of salutogenesis as a model for health promotion. What I want to mean, that according to Ottawa Charter of the World Health Organization, we have chosen the paradigm of salutogenesis as health promotion model. What does it mean? The salutogenesis term has been coined by Aaron Antonovsky, an Israeli sociologist, when he started to study the health outcome of the Shoah survivors. He coined the term between the Greek and Latin racine or root, saluto, salus, salutis in Latin, and genesis, origin. So he studied how the source of health and quality of being can be promoted and or created. So our foundation is devoted to promote salutogenesis in terms of proximity, in terms of projects, in terms of events. You can find the more detailed explanation of salutogenesis in our website. We are very, very happy that we have Alexandru Anton tonight with us, because we are paving the way to organize a course in presence with Alexandru. Alexandru is a virtuoso of throat singing, and as you have the chance to read in the presentation of the event on the Salutogenesis Foundation website. Well, let me acknowledge our translators, Anna Olifir from Russia, for the Russian language, Soraya Bravo for the Spanish channel, and Edith Pucci for the Italian channel. It is a great opportunity for us to be together tonight, also because we collaborate somewhere else, and so we have deep link within ourselves, and is another occasion to thank Soraya so very much for her translation in Spanish language for Rime Association we share, and for other things. So your support is extremely precious for us. And we want, or we aim, we wish to go ahead with other projects. For example, we had completed the course for near-death helping, and next year we wish to organize a professional course for spiritual assistant with the endorsement of Italian Buddhist Association or Union. We are involved in other projects. So in Italian medicine, we say, but also somewhere else, that if you have a good voice, you have a good strength, you have a good opportunity to work with your body, and we have a master in this field. I don't want to add so very much, but for us is a very important, because we started with Alexandru to project this event time ago, and I thank Alexandru so very much for his kindness to be with us and to have accepted to organize in presence a course, because we'll be more able also to do practice somewhere else, having had some more experience through Alexandru teaching in this field. So for us is the conference tonight is no the first step for other projects with Alexandru. So thank you once more. I am so very happy, Alexandru. Once more, thank very much to our translators, and please start with your conference. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Paolo, for inviting, for having the initiative. So it's been a very nice time to organize this and to to spread the word. It's it's actually for me one of the very nice international collaborations. Mostly I work in Romania, but whenever I have the chance to communicate about this voice knowledge in English, I'm very happy. In other languages, I still don't feel very confident. Um, so I think the best way to start is to share with you a little bit of a personal story, not because it's a personal, but because it's a true story. So I think it has a um just to say how things happened is quite a powerful way how to transmit knowledge. So I was a very shy person up until my 20s, I would say. Very introvert, um, very disconnected from my emotions, from my feelings, and I would say quite afraid of all these emotions and feelings. Um, so I remember this. I was in this psychology training, and we did all kind of experiential exercises. Now you imagine uh, you are an animal on the field, and you smell the grass and this kind of stuff. And they would ask us, "How do you feel now?" And I was terrified when somebody was asking me this, and I would have to think to make some kind of um, evaluation. Oh, today I slept well. I met some friends. We had a good time, so I feel good. You know, it was like this. And then when when I started to go to this traditional healing workshops, some people would call them shamanic workshops, but it's just a word. It's it's this ancient old knowledge, I would say. Then I started singing because I met different uh, therapists and healers and medicine men from different cultures, from Brazil, from Greenland, from Peru, from Siberia, from Germany, and all of them they were using songs and singing, and this was what surprised me the most and felt very strong and very alive. And somehow I could see I could compare how the people were, like 20, 30 people, imagine, in a big room gathering for this event, which was a weekend event, most cases. And then after one day of singing together and sometimes with instruments, with the drum or with this shaker, then I would see with my own eyes, that people were more shiny and more sociable and more open. Uh, and before some of them were very like rough and square, and um, they were unhappy. So this made me very motivated to explore this singing part. Uh, Singing was for me the most direct and the most concrete way to start feeling my emotions, to accept my emotions without being overwhelmed, because I was feeling them and expressing them, because we all have this experience when we feel something intense or heavy or unpleasant, and we don't know what to do with it. So singing was the perfect way, because um, we could become aware in our bodies what's happening, and then through the song it was instantly flowing. So if we go again um, back in time, I remember when I was very young, one violin teacher came to my house, and because my parents wanted to give me a good education and some extracurricular activities outside of the school routine. And this teacher asked me to sing something, and I was very, very shy and afraid. And he was this teacher authority, and he was just talking to my parents. He wasn't making any connection with me. He just called me to sing something, and of course, I sang this um, very simple song about going on the field and gathering flowers or something like this. And after a few, maybe 10, 15 seconds, he 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 looked at my mother and said, "Oh, he's not talented, singing really requires a lot of effort and money and time. It's a big investment, you should um, you should try some tennis classes or chess or something else, not to waste your resources." So I thought, for me, it was not important, that meeting. I thought, it seemed just, my parents' ambition for me, and I wasn't really like very desperate to study violin. It seemed nothing. But then when I started working with my voice, and in 2012, I um, I was just helping a friend transcribe some throat singing notes uh, from paper to his laptop, and clarifying some concepts with him. And then he said, "Oh, Alex, why don't you make like a workshop? You just tell people what about your experiences with the sound, and explain a little bit, and see if anybody is interested." And then people came, I don't know, 10, 15, something like this. And that was the start of my workshops. And I noticed, so it's like just a little bit more than 10 years now, I noticed this, on the one hand, children, especially very young children, they are very free to make sounds, to move, to fall on the floor, to cry, to laugh, to be very volatile or in the moment, let's say, without worrying so much. And then I saw how difficult it was for quite a lot of grown-ups, adult people, to sing, to improvise, to uh, even to dance if there's not a specific kind of dancing. So um, about the voice, I I understood many people. It's um it's part of the education. When people go to join a choir, I don't know if it's school choir or church choir or whatever choir, and they are in a long line, and the choir teacher or coordinator asks them to sing one sound like ah or oh, and they sing the sound, each of them 1 or 2 seconds, and immediately um, normally the person says, okay, you come, okay, no, you don't come, you don't have a voice, you don't have a musical ear because you didn't repeat my sound, or you don't have talent. So um, so this happened to many people, and it seems it's not important. It seems it's just the person is not the best choice for the choir, no? But we are forgetting that music and melody and this quality of a sound of being beautiful is very cultural, very subjective, like physical beauty. Now uh, the idea of beauty doesn't correspond with how it was in 1800 or 1900, and I think it's the same with the sound. So then mainly in my work I work a lot with the voice. To We do a lot of exercises to experiment how we can use the voice in many different ways, which don't come naturally once we stop playing. So it's like we are rediscovering how we can play with our voice. And playing with the voice, it brings a lot of extra qualities in the communication. Uh, the Why is it important to open up the voice on a concrete level beyond this um, health level, how Paolo said very well, or beyond this spiritual or awareness level? Why is it important as human beings to have a free voice and strong and open and creative? Because part of our communication, it's this tonality and all these vibrations in the voice. We are living in a time, in a society uh, where the accent is put a lot on the information and on concepts. Um, but sometimes we are forgetting about the importance of how we transmit these concepts. So, if I say, "Oh, I'm very happy to meet you. You look very good. I'm very happy to meet you." The words are perfect, but the tonality, the energy I put in those words, is they are very poor. So we don't learn this in school, how to really express when we feel something, how to really express it fully. So in the same way, we could say, without any fancy words, we could say, "Hey," and then the other person would really understand and feel that we are really happy to meet them. without having to use so many um, words and stressing so much the information, because we are not only technical beings and informational beings. We are also actually struggling a lot on the emotional level. We are all very intelligent, highly developed intellectually. We all speak many different languages. We have many different skills, and compared to three 300 years ago, no, we can all write, we can all read, many. We can use all this sophisticated computers, technology, programs, software, whatever. But on the emotional level, um, we are still struggling, and part of this part of this is because in the childhood we are going from this very creative state of the child who is fascinated by everything, and he can play with everything. He is interested in everything about the smell and the taste and the shape and everything. And as a society, we take the child and we train train the child to be in a certain way, and to become specialized, more and more specialized, and to follow certain rules, to adapt to the society and so on. But actually these are all changing. You know, the times are changing. Now you can have one job, and then that job in a few years can disappear, and then we have to get new skills, and become expert in another field maybe. So being fluid and always being able to adapt and to learn, it takes it's a skill. And generally we lose this kind of flexibility when we learn, because we exclude everything else that doesn't correspond to our vision. So it's basically a lot about recovering these special powers. Yes, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say, to recover the special powers of the child. Um, Now to go back to music, in very many languages you have the verb to play the piano, play the violin, play the guitar. So it's why is it play? Why is it not? Okay, in some languages it is tocar, no, and like Spanish is like you hit or you touch or you. But why in most languages it's about play. It's about playing the instrument, and I think it says a lot. So if we go back to this voice training, as I described earlier, this external filters, external vision of how the voice should be, how the songs should be, they are very subjective, very much depending on the culture and on the ears and the judgments of those who are hearing the voice, the songs. But there is another way we can use the voice, where we have a lot of freedom and possibilities, and that is to get back our ability to express, and start to learn how to grow a space for ourselves where we can feel safe, and we can remember how to be free. And we can do this with anything, but with the voice it's especially powerful. because we let's say we have a very busy schedule, and we had a difficult day at work, very stressful, some tensions with some colleagues, with the boss, whatever, sitting in front of the computer for many hours. And then we go home, and we don't know exactly what would be best for us. Maybe uh, we want to watch some film, some TV, I don't know, to disconnect a little from this difficult day. Maybe we take a shower, we take a bath, or we go jogging in the park, whatever. But on a very basic level, we might just breathe and ask ourselves this question: what did my body store, collect over the day? I want to I want now to make space to release and to express all the stress, all the emotional tensions um, that I have collected, that I have repressed during the day. And it's very simple. So I would like this to be also a little experiential meeting for us. It won't be just me talking, because voice and the flow of energy in the voice is first of all an experience. So I will share with you a few exercises which are very simple but can be very strong, because they are simple because they are natural. They come naturally once we become again natural. And one of them is this sighing. You remember, like when we breathe in deeply to really oxygenate, to replenish our energy. And then whatever tension we feel in the body, whatever pressure we feel on our chest, or our shoulders, or in the head, wherever, we can release it through sound. We can do this now a few times to have some experience. We breathe in fully, and then and really it helps to remind ourselves we are each in our room, in our space. Nobody's hearing us, nobody's criticizing us. We cannot do anything wrong. And we put this intention to just release whatever tension we have. The translator should do the same to translate the sound into the other languages. I don't know how we do this in Russian and in Italian and in Spanish, but I think it's very similar, so it shouldn't be difficult. And you see, this is a very simple exercise. We will stay on it a few minutes. I don't know if you felt something, but there are some aspects to it on how we can do it in a fearful way, in a contracted way, hesitant, or how we can do it fully. Um, so, whatever tension, whatever stress, anxiety, or pressure we feel inside, we are giving our voice this connection. It's a connection between what we feel and the voice. This connection seems very simple, no? Um, but there is some challenge. If we are judging what we feel there, then it might not be very easy to just express through the voice this stress, this feeling. For example, somebody who um, learned that it's very bad to be angry. You know, if you ask that person to shout, to release some anger through the voice, um, even when they are alone, it might be difficult for them because they have this pattern that it's not good to be angry. So in the same way, um, we have this tendency to keep inside, to repress those emotions which we are judging. We When we are happy about something, we don't really repress that. When we meet somebody and say, "Oh, I uh, I won 10,000 euros at the lottery." Okay, we repress it when we are afraid that the person will be envious, and uh, then we will feel bad, or somebody is going through hard times, and we don't want to come with our ha 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 and seem like we are disrespecting the feelings of the other. But it's quite easy to express joy, no, in general, a little bit at least, not in a very extravagant way, because then it might seem strange. It might seem we are crazy, no. But with this kind of emotions we are judging, we think it's wrong to, for example, to express the anger or to express sadness, especially uh, with people we are not so close. So, so then what do we do in general? We we freeze somehow. We block that emotion. Maybe we think, oh, I will I will go in the forest in the weekend and scream, and but not now. Or I will watch a drama and I will cry then, not now. So, but we are doing this all the time with the emotions that we are judging. So that's why now when we do this kind of release, it's important to be open. It's like when we go to the dentist and the dentist tells us if it's very painful, of course, it's always a little painful, but if it's very painful, then please shout. Of course, I will shout. It's socially acceptable there to shout, and we do it. But when somebody tells us something very painful, it's not nice to shout or to express sadness, or so then we keep it inside. So now when we do this exercise, we we also need to be flexible with our voice. You see, now I have this voice, and the voice can become a part of my identity, and I can identify with a certain type of voice. No, let's pretend I want to be always this strong and so and so. So then I also keep my voice in that way. But now, if I want to release something which is doesn't correspond to that, my voice will change, and I need to be flexible to allow for my voice to be in a new way, in a way which for me seems strange, maybe, or my mind is judging this kind of voice. So I always say the voice, when we release, the voice might want to be rusty, or rough, or sound like a little more wild, not so civilized. And this can threaten a little the image of ourselves. But the the prize is that we are releasing, and then we feel better. So it's like a little competition. We are on the one hand, we are expressing what we think is good and nice to express, and on the other hand, we can use the voice to remember how it is to feel good, how good we can feel when we really empty ourselves from all these contractions and tensions. And then I think even in the brain, some new synapses are formed, um, and the whole body remembers how easy it is to how easy it is to do this, how strong it is. Uh, we don't need in that moment really to understand or to talk to somebody about it. It can be very, very direct part. So probably, as you noticed, I use a lot also the connection with the body, because if we are aware of our body, how we feel inside, then it's easier somehow to take care of ourselves. If we are very mental and um, if we are inhabiting only this thinking level, it's very easy to completely neglect what's happening uh, on the emotional energy level, in the physical body level, and then we get all those people who are working 8 hours per day, and they have very good results, but their bodies are very twisted, and they have back pain, and um, their bodies are really not happy. So I like to use this body as a resource, especially because when I was in Siberia, I um, I found this new perspective that there is always enough energy. Somehow, because of of how the culture is there, and the land, and difficult conditions there, mm, they have this way of working with the energy that they can really go beyond these some limitations. And I discovered it's most of the times it's the limitation is not in the body when we feel that the body is tired, the the limitation is not in the body, it's in the mind, because we can also release tiredness. We can breathe in and release all the heavy stuff, and we can go on much more. So then I discovered then the importance, when I work with people to unblock their voice. Of course, first of all, we start with some exercises for the body, to just remember how to release with the body through the voice. So, for example, whoever wants to try something from this, when we can breathe in and raise the shoulders very high, and then we just breathe out with the sound, and we see how we can actually release from these tensions, from the shoulders, from the neck, no. If we try to do the same thing only through breathing, we are making a little experiment. We don't make any sound with the voice. We just do the same thing. We breathe in and breathe out. What's the difference? Is it the same? You can write in the chat. Oh, I see there are already some messages in the chat. So this there's a difference with the sound. It's more concrete. Let's say with the breathing out, we feel we can release half a kilo of stress. If we make these sounds also, maybe we can release 2 kilograms of stress more. Also in Siberia, I had the occasion to study these traditional singing styles, which are basically inspired from the nature, and there are even descriptions what elements are present in each style. For example, there is this basic low sound, which sounds like this, and I'm inviting you to I will just sing for 10-15 seconds, and just see what kind of experience you have. If you feel anything in the body or some emotions, if the mind is reacting in any way or judging, just be present and observe the sound, and what is your experience. So how did you find these sounds? If somebody wants to share, maybe even unmute with this raising the hand, so we don't um, unmute everybody and then there's a chaos. Remember, you cannot be wrong and you cannot be right. It's your personal subjective experience, but it's very interesting to share.
Deve aprire il microfono. Ha una
Yes,
bussata, deve
Caterina.
aprire il microfono.
Oh, okay. It's a little scary for some people. Yeah, it is a little scary. It's a very deep sound. It's very earthy. It's it sounds a little like this machine which breaks the um, concrete, the cement. Something powerful. Okay. Almost spiritual. Other examples of throat singing. Okay, one question. Well, of course, I'm very flexible to share with you whatever from my experiences, from what I know. I haven't studied throat singing in Japan, for example, where there used to be an ethnic group on the Hokkaido island, which used to have a kind of throat singing. I did hear it in in some old Japanese films. There was a little part with some of this traditional Japanese theater, and there was something very similar. Um, but I would say this throat singing, it seems very strange, especially the first time you hear it. Now it's more widespread, but as it says, it's using this throat contraction, and it's these guttural sounds. This one in particular, which I was singing now, it's using the false chords. These false chords, which are above, a little higher than the normal chords, and normally we don't use them. These false chords are very useful when water comes accidentally in our throat and we are coughing to blocks to not allow for any foreign objects to come into our breathing apparatus. But apart from that, we don't use them, or we use them when we are like correcting a little, or awakening our voice before we give a speech. We sometimes we or sometimes, or when we want to say something which is hard to express, we do this naturally. You know, I would like to tell you something. But also in the Tibetan tradition, in the Gelugpa school of Tibetan Buddhism, there are these two tantric colleges, Gyuto and Gyume, and they are using a lot this it's this style, but it's not exactly the same, because for them it's part of their practice, which might involve breathing in a certain way and doing certain visualizations and with the channels and things like this. So, but it's very similar, and of course you can imagine what you were feeling earlier about these very earthy, deep sounds. Imagine now that somebody is using this kind of singing to also express some words. For example, let's say, I would say, let us feel the power in our bodies. Okay, it sounds good. If I say, let us feel the power in our bodies, it sounds better. It's a little more direct. But if I say, let us feel the power in our bodies. So imagine if you heard this Tibetan monks' recordings. They are in some monastery, and there are 100 or maybe many hundred, maybe 500 monks chanting the same mantras, all synchronized with this kind of energy. I still haven't been to this kind of event, but I'm sure it would be very, very, very strong. So this Tibetan style is it's a little it's much lower somehow, and I can try to imitate it a little, but I'm not trained in it. It's like something like this. I didn't use any mantras. I didn't want to. I don't have any practice with this, so I just use my imagination a little. Yeah, you are right. This in the Siberian shamanic culture, in the shamanic healing sessions, for example, this style is used to unblock very rigid energies, very very tight, very dense emotions, because it's very strong. It can really break, and it can also be felt in the body very strongly. Then there is this next style, which is more like connected with the human dimension. No? The first one is more connected with this very deep instinctual part of us, very more like the animal part of us. And then this next style is more connected with the human dimension, very warming, more from the heart, and it is used for relaxing, and even for the father to communicate with the baby before the baby is born. They can sing from the outside with this intention to communicate with the baby before it's born. And of course, the baby in the mother's womb, um, they can hear, they can feel all these vibrations of the people outside the mother talking to the mother, and also the singing, of course. So it's a different technique, and this implies this contraction of the epiglottis. So traditionally they would sing a few words or a few verses, and then add this improvisation between the verses, something like, if you want to learn more about throat singing, there are, of course, many possibilities. And I believe everybody can do it if they are motivated. How was this this for you? It's
Forse è più facile.
mm, How did you feel this style? Remember, you cannot go wrong. It's all very subjective. It's very nice to share. So, can write in the chat. So this is I don't know if you are able to hear. It depends also on your speakers or headphones. If you are able to hear these harmonics, these overtones. So it's about this the main part of this singing style. You see, like this, which is like a drone, like a fundamental note. They call it in music theory. And then on top of this, we make other sounds. So yeah, I was telling you this. I learned more in Tuva. Actually, I'm more connected with this Tuvan way of singing. They are all very similar, of course, but they can have particular aspects. For example, in Mongolia, they tend to be very, very rough. They have they can make this style very flat and very horizontal, and putting a lot of tension on the throat. So you can compare this, which is more like mountain style, and you can hear this depth, no? As you said. And in Mongolia, because in Mongolia the land is very flat and wide, they have this style a little different. It sounds like so I have this personal theory that the particular singing styles are very much connected with the geography of the landscape. So we know that these Tibetans, how they sing. And when I hear the Tibetan singing, for example, not the monks, no, but the traditional Tibetan songs, I can already see these high mountains, these big valleys, and the sound can travel like that. Well, of course, Anas, Mongolia is not so flat. There are mountains, but it has a huge area. Mongolia is a huge country, and I only visited a little part of it, and of course I didn't study how much percent it has mountains and how much percent it has desert and lakes and but I imagine the people who live in the steppe, no, because this is called the steppe style, as opposed to the earlier one, which was like the mountain style. So I think this is more connected with this. The sound is spreading. The style is in such a way that the sound can really collaborate somehow with the landscape and spread like that. If I made this very deep sound in the very open space, I think the sound gets lost much faster. It doesn't. It doesn't resonate so much. Then I know it's also in Sardinia. I think there's a kind of throat singing, but I haven't met anybody so far. Maybe only a little some videos on YouTube, and the main thing is to include the throat also, not only the vocal cords, to include different parts of the throat and the muscles and contractions and these false cords in making sound. We can hear this accidentally when we famous beer from Sardinia. Okay. Oh, I know this beer. I was drinking it when I was in Italy. Iknusa. Iknusa. So I don't think the Sardinian, actually, Christiana, maybe you can confirm. Does it sound very similar to this Siberian style? Or it could be something like normal singing plus a little contraction. Like, oh, this beer of Sardinia is very, very nice. Something like this. There is also this, no? Oh, this beer of Sardinia is very, very nice. Okay, something like this. Also, the Inuits. There is a very nice story. This, some of you might know this international music group, Hun. They are quite, they are I would say, the most famous, travel a lot, having a lot of concerts. And one time the young group, their young member, he collaborated with Tanya Tagak. She's a throat singer. She's a Inuit throat singer from Alaska. And when they met, he was very surprised. Oh, you are a woman and you are doing throat singing. And she said, oh, you are a man and you are doing throat singing. Because in the Inuit culture, it's the women who do this throat singing more like guttural singing. Maybe you saw these video clips on YouTube, videos where the two women they stand facing each other and they are doing different sounds, and they have to. It's like a game, and the one who starts laughing first loses the game. It's I can send you when we with Paolo we make some email with materials to send to everybody who wants to explore more. I can send you some videos. Okay. And it's also a way to transmit this kind of some kind of knowledge between mother and daughter, for example. Because, for example, let's say the daughter hasn't been doing any hard work, like hunting, and the daughter is young and modern and works as a web designer in front of the computer, let's say. And then she naturally, if she's not doing anything in this direction, then maybe she's not so much connected to this instinctual energy. And then she may be part of some festival or traditional gathering. They are facing each other with these older ladies who have experience, and the older ladies does something like and then the young lady is facing, and she feels in her body these vibrations. So this is a very, for me, I think is one of the most interesting ways of learning from through body awareness and the resonance with the other person's voice. So then the young lady is responding. She's doing something like and then the mother gets another resonance, and then she makes another rhythm. Something like this. And this can go on for a few minutes. and it becomes very strong. There's no break. They are not thinking, they are not preparing anything, they're just flowing everything. It's very strong. It's strong even just to watch it. Yeah. Okay, somebody is saying this. This is called. I will write you now this the name of this style. It's called Kargara. This lower style. It's called Kargara, and of course, it's very similar to the sound of the didgeridoo, because we are using this corridor of resonance for the voice. So, and I would say it has a similar tube shape. So we can and the vibration is this very earthy, and I would say of a very similar frequency. So it's very, very similar. Sometimes people tell me I have a portable internal didgeridoo with me. Yeah. So then the other style, which is warmer and more human, it's called I'm sorry, Humei. Humei. And then there's the third one. It's a little more difficult to do. So that's why I'm drinking this hot tea to warm up my vocal cords. Very important. And in this traditional cosmology, it's considered to connect to higher dimensions, whatever that means, for inspiration, for like we have this earth and the human and then the sky. It's like this we can relate to very easily, and the style is very high. It's like a whistle. It's like the kettle when the water starts boiling and makes this sound which tells you it's ready. Something like this. You could hear a little also my voice, the drone, but you could hear, I hope, this very high, very sharp whistle. So it's interesting to see this correspondence in the body. No, they say this Kargira is about this instinctual power and earth energies, and of course it's resonating a lot in the belly. So imagine when you are singing or listening to Kargira or also to the didgeridoo, the sound vibrations are very concrete, very palpable in the body, and so it's unblocking this very raw energy of the body, the deep parts. Then this humei, which is this contraction is blocking the energy of the voice, and here at the throat is making it like a laser. So then you get a lot of this chest voice, like when I was singing. Like when I was singing, you can hear my voice vibrating in my chest. So it's vibrating a lot in the chest and unblocking the chest and also communicating this chest resonance to everybody who's hearing. And then this third one, which I did now the last, it's a lot in the head. It's the same using this contraction, this making the laser out of our voice, and then the sound gets directed uh, through the head, almost as if we are singing somewhere above the head. You know, if it feels like that, it can sound like that. So of course, this very high pitch, high frequencies, it's are vibrating in the brain and I would say opening these pineal glands and pituitary glands and so on, and activating the brain a lot. So of course, it's very good for inspiration and creativity and getting some vision. Let's say because it's acting directly on this uh, sense um, control centers of the. So yeah, okay. Um, okay, now if if you have more curiosity about the throat singing, we can talk about that only. But also, I um, I would like to talk a little about this steps. Like I find it natural to first to do a lot of exercises to release the voice from the dust, from the rustiness, uh, from the blockages, rubbish, or whatever is there. And in this way, we have direct benefit. We discover the voice, we discover more freedom in the voice when we are expressing all these kind of tensions like oh it's opening, and also we feel much better in the body. Then the second step, which is important in my view to be second and not first, the second step is to start being creative with the voice. So when we release a lot of these emotional layers and tensions, and it's really a lot about this psychosomatic tension, armor, body armor. When we release a lot of this, then it's not only the voice which starts resonating better in the body. Um, voice is voice means the flow of energy. I make this and it's the energy is flowing. Voice involves the vocal cords, but the vocal cords are really just like a modulator. There is also this aspect of resonance. If the body is blocked, you hear these people who are speaking only from the head.
Hello, I would like to talk to you today about the voice and how we can shift from the nasal and head voice
To a very deep abdominal voice, and why it's beneficial to do that. So you see, if voice is the flow of energy, it's also very connected to the breath. You see that I don't know if anybody so far managed to sing without using the breath also. I don't know if it's possible. You can try, but you can also sing when you breathe in. It sounds a little different. But I say that voice is the Sorry about your cat, Mila. But cats are sensitive animals, and I don't take responsibility for the animals' reactions to throat singing. Um, yes. So voice is like the older sister of the breath, maybe, or stronger sister, I call it. So when we can release through the voice, also the breath is changing. That this energy corridor between the voice, between the throat and the abdomen, when we really can sing like open and like I feel the voice is vibrating and resonating. And now also when I'm breathing in, then my breath goes and this vital energy is replenished. No? But it also means we are aware. Where we have something stuck, generally we are not aware. Because if we are aware, then it would be painful or uncomfortable. We would have to do something. So we kind of bury it there and we put we hide it. We are not aware anymore of that place. So, but after we work and please believe me, if I knew that this voice opening and voice training means so much feeling, so much contact with this kind of all kind of emotions, I don't know if I would have started. But I think the benefit is really worth it, even if it's through singing or whatever, to unblock our emotional flow. So after we do this, then it's possible our perception can change. I will give you an example. Many years ago, you had this computers, and of course, these computers made for playing games, computer games. They are stronger, better, faster. They need a lot of processing power, and also this video power is very important because the graphics are very advanced, and also the sound. So this is a true story. Somebody told me they bought this sound card for their computer so that they could hear very high fidelity sound from the games. And they were playing a lot these games and listening to the sounds in these headphones, this very high quality, high fidelity sound. And then after some time in the normal life, they started hearing all the sounds, even the car, the sounds of the cars, the sounds from the road or from the birds, high resolution, very complex texture, because their hearing had opened up also, evolved. Their perception was more profound, more wide, more open. So this means also unblocking the voice and expressing always brings us a lot of benefits on the listening level. We also learn how to listen, and actually that's the first step. First to listen, and then to express. We cannot express what we don't hear, what we don't listen somehow, first of all. So in this way we learn a lot about ourselves, about these are all challenges you can have for yourself to to be aware of the voice in one day, to be very aware of the voice, how it changes when you talk to different people. When you talk to somebody who is very strong, maybe the voice becomes a little like this, because you don't want to you don't want to, like stimulate even more that person. But then also tendency with children when they are not behaving properly, it's like, hey, go and do your homework, this kind of tendency to try to dominate. With animals it's very interesting, because we can shout, but unless we are very grounded, the animals in general, they don't listen. We scream to a dog, hey, get away from here, but they feel we are not, through this resonance we are transmitting through the voice, they feel we are not stable, we are not centered, we are not confident. For them it's strange. What does this person want through that sound? I don't understand. So, but I also saw this example, like, hey, go, leave me alone. And the dog, very quickly understands, because it's a clear message. So then at some point we have more flow. We can have more flow for our experiences. And I will just talk a little bit about this for a few minutes, and then I think we can open up a question and answer session. I think you have enough material. Yeah. So this is the last point I would really like to touch upon, about this fluidity. First, we work with this kind of sounds to open up our voice, like ooh, ah, eh, ooh, or take all the vowels and see how we feel in the body. What is the shape of ah? What is the shape of e, eh, ooh? For example, we can see that ooh goes very naturally down in the abdomen, no? And ah stays more at the chest level, and e feels more vertical somehow. Very similar to the shape of the letter somehow. And after we open up and remember we can really do this, then we can allow ourselves to just improvise. And this is a very, very strong exercise. And we can do this now. I will keep the time. We can do it for 2 minutes. We just make sounds. The only it doesn't matter what sounds, but the only condition is we don't stop. We don't take any break. Okay, we take a break to breathe if we need to breathe. But apart from that, whatever we think, whatever thoughts come, we don't stop. We continue to make sounds. And we can all do this. And I will do here. You will hear me, so you will be encouraged. Like you won't feel strange because I will do it also here. So we start. No, we don't stop. Also, it's for the translators. They should do it also. Also, we don't go into a pattern because a pattern is very safe. We can continue forever. We always bring something new. Oh, just a little more. We can all do it. Okay. So I declare the Q&A open. Yes, please. Anything you, if I can help with my opinion, with share some experience, I will do it. Or if you have anything to share, be very happy. And of course, it's useful for everybody to see, to hear. Yes, you can unmute yourself and speak. I don't know if you don't speak English, how we do it. You can maybe write in chat, and the translator can translate in chat, maybe.
Or directly the translator can translate in their channels.
Okay. Yes, and also, if what you are most interested in from everything, from the little bits that we covered tonight, what is interesting and motivating for you? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I try to
Yes.
to explain, because I can do so much this throw sound. I don't know why, because in the past I did some course with some people in Barcelona, but now it's impossible. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm very interested in free the voice. I mean, in try to find the natural voice, because we use a different voice. At moment I'm study in that. So for me, it's very important to free the voice. And this kind of exercise that we did just right now, it's very interesting for that.
Yeah.
But for me, for example, it's almost impossible. I don't know. But the kettle, it was more easy.
For you.
Yeah, just for my voice. I don't know if it's a problem of feminine and masculine. I don't know.
You mean, Lela, this you were able to do before, but not now?
I did in the past something, because I did the course, but not now. It's impossible. Nothing come here. Nothing.
Okay. Oh, I see we have many questions here.
Okay.
But now I will do my best to reply to you first. So this Kargira style, this lower throat singing style, it requires power. So to make an idea, traditionally to have an idea, in general, the best throat singers in Tuva, in the Tuvan Republic, are wrestlers. These people who are doing wrestling,
Okay.
they are very these styles are using the body a lot. It's there is also this very soft European style, like it's very soft. Yeah, it's very easy to learn.
Okay.
But this one, when you do, you can hear. It's it needs pressure in the abdomen, and then this kargira, it needs it's like starting the engine. So I would imagine if you do some more physical exercise, this kind, especially to connect with the abdomen, and also with the power in the legs, sometimes for this kind of sounds we can push the wall, like when you push the furniture or want to move it, sometimes these kind of sounds, they come naturally, like because they are connecting us to this earth element. It's and of course, maybe you can think about what was your general condition then when you were doing it, and how is it now, how you feel in your body, if it's strong, the same or not. And slowly, I think it can be learned again, but it needs daily practice, because we cannot practice a lot with because it's very rough. Until we can do it in a relaxed way, we are just unblocking this false vocal cord, like a few minutes every day, and then it unblocks.
Thank you.
Yeah. And about releasing the voice, of course, it's like taking a leap, having this confidence to just explore and express whatever is not expressed, and also going through these psychological challenges. For example, if I am a very shy person, then I know my voice will also be influenced by that. I mean, shy people, they have this tendency to speak very low. Hello, can I ask you something? So I'm not saying it's your case, but you can reflect on this kind of qualities of yourself, even and then to reflect a little how they are influencing your voice also, and then go in that direction, or in the opposite direction, to challenge yourself. Like if you consider yourself to be, I don't know you personally, I'm just giving some examples, yeah, some very fine and delicate, civilized lady, something like this, then of course this kind of sound will be very difficult. Maybe not physically, but because it doesn't correspond, with the. I encountered this many times, that I can see somehow that the person is ready. They understand the technique. They have the resources in the body and the voice, but and somehow this layer of, oh, but how can I do that in front of other people? This comes up, and then we talk about it, and then after this disappears, they can do it. So all the time, the psychological level, the mind level, is the main factor. We can work a lot with the voice, but also we need to become aware of our mind patterns and release them somehow. I mean, not repeat them, because they are limiting. Yeah, I hope it's useful for you.
Sì, grazie. Thank you.
Somebody is asking how long it takes to learn throat singing. Very good question. I've I've been studying and practicing for 10 years, and you see, I'm still very, I don't know, I don't consider myself. I mean, thank you, Paolo, very much for your very nice introduction. But when I listen to some Mongolians who they've been singing from when they were 4 years old, maybe, they sound incredible. No? I met a young guy. He was like 25, and he studied only 1 year, and he was singing very well. Not all the styles, but those styles that he liked, he was singing very well. So it depends. It depends on your energy, on your body, how brave you are, because it's also like and we are entering some delicate zone. You know, it's for example, the first time somebody learning this kargira sound, first time they can really do it. Until then, it sounds like and they have this question: is it the right one? Is it this sound, or is it similar? And I tell them, trust me, when you have this real kargira, this real style, you will feel it in the body. There will be no doubt. And then when they have that first experience, like and you really feel all the chest and the organs are vibrating and the abdomen, it's beyond any doubt. But also we need to be ready for this experience, otherwise we will avoid it. It will seem that we cannot do it, you know. We will sabotage ourselves not to do it if we are not ready, like psychologically, if we still have some mental blocks about it. So it depends. But I would say it's not a purpose in itself that the whole world becomes full of throat singers, no? Then throat singing wouldn't be interesting at all. Then opera singing would be maybe much more interesting. But it's a process of self-discovery, of opening the voice, clearing a lot of these emotions. For example, this even without throat singing, just exploring this very low voice in the abdomen. It's very good for the health of this all the organs in the area. For example, it can help with the menstruation pains that women have, because normally they have to go through it, or okay, take some pills sometimes. I don't know if it's the best idea, no, this analgesics, but in this way I have a few real concrete examples. Through this kind of releasing with the voice from deep in the abdomen, they manage to move this pain, because this all the pain that's stuck is energy which is blocked. And this voice, when we are making the connecting the voice with that pain, this is actually the incredible thing about the voice. When we really express something, we are producing with our vocal cords the same frequency as the same natural frequency of that emotion or blockage which we are expressing. So then it disintegrates, it dissolves. It's like in medicine, the laser it's also acoustic laser. No, I think so. They can operate with this concentrated sound beam inside the body, and we are doing the same more or less on another level, but it's very strong. Once we discover this that expressing means actually using the ability of to enter, to connect with the voice to different frequencies, to different spaces of resonance in the body. And then pains can move, even headaches, even migraines, many things, maybe even tensions from the bones, they can be released through sound if we have enough practice. I think the last exercise was reminiscent of a psychological training session where
There are other questions from the audience, Alexandru.
yes, I'm reading now. Okay, sensation of cleaning. Oh, there is some in Italian.
It's translated into English also by Edith.
Okay. Does Demetrios Stratos' research concerning diplophony and triplophony have anything to do with the techniques? Oh, yes, I think so, because Paolo, you were telling me about this great musician, Demetrio Stratos, and I listened to some of his albums, and I think he was very, very experimental. Um, so this it's like he's using several levels of diplophony and triplophony, and sometimes it happens to me spontaneously. I didn't know about this. It can be used consciously, like on purpose, like when my throat is a little tired and I'm doing the normal middle style. There are different vibrations which are from other parts of the throat. So I don't know what to tell you more about this, except that we have an incredible possibility of using the throat and the voice. It's there is a style in Mongolia of throat singing. There is no it sounds like a flute. If you don't see that it's a person singing, something similar, but they do it very nicely. It seems like they are playing a flute. There is this Sainko Namchilak. She lives in Vienna. She's also from Tuva. She's very experimental lady singer. If you see some, I can send you when we send the materials email. She makes some bird sounds. She can make very sharp sounds. Of course, if we are interested in this, we can do it. But I would say we need to take it easy, not to push the throat. The body is very strong, can adapt. We can be very weak, then we do exercises, we can become very strong. We can be very stiff, then we do exercises, gymnastics, we can become very flexible. But not overnight. Because if we want it overnight, then we can injure ourselves, and it's important to have a healthy throat and to be able to talk and communicate, especially if you are singing. So yeah, many times I saw Norbunet messages about classes with you. Are you still doing that? I would like to join. Okay. Oh, this was a private message. Well, sorry, it was not so. I hope not very personal information. Actually, I prepared this throat singing video course. It's I made it in Romanian and also in English. Many years I mean many years. All these years that I've been teaching this style, um, I did weekend workshops, then 4 days, 5 days to go deeper. But somehow it can be very strong. Also, this group experience that, and we are doing only that, no, for a few days. It can be very strong. But I also did these online courses over 10 weeks, so 10 classes of 2 hours each. And somehow I think it can be more useful because people can integrate with their daily lives. They can have this experience that they come from work or and in the evening we do these warm-up exercises and release through the voice, and they can see, they get this confidence. This week I had a stomach ache, and we did these exercises and it went away. Next week I had a headache, and we were singing and vibrating with the voice in the head. And after 10 minutes the headache went away, and so on. And then they get this confidence, and then it's easier for them to, I think, to practice, to include it in their daily life. And this is when it becomes very strong. Because if we don't express, what do? We collect.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to unmute myself, so this is why I
No
wrote
problem.
it. It wasn't anything personal, so it's okay if you read it. Now, I just wanted to know if you're still doing that. Will it be possible to join some of these classes just to have an experience of the work you do?
So yeah, so now it's I'm a little more traveling in this month, for example. I don't know about June. We can always do some individual class or even some group class online, or when we organize something in Bologna with Paolo.
Yeah.
But I prepare these videos which include all the exercises, and then everybody can do in their own rhythm. I think it's good to first have like a meeting to see how we can start, and then practice a little bit every day, and then I think this is the best solution.
May I add a few words, Alexandru?
Yes.
Also because our conference is going about to its end,
Yes.
but they question about diplophony and triplophony reminds me the ancient Psalmodia and Inodia from the 4th century in the Oriental Church, and the Gallican monody in the ancient Christian Church in ancient France. Someone is speaking. And to me, as for example, when Demetrius Stratos was among the first in the world to study the whale voice, between 15 to 52 megahertz. It means unbelievable long frequency, no?
Yeah.
And it was through the throat, I mean, the different shape of the megathera or the whale. On the other hand, let me remind you, if you ever seen when a child born deaf has been implanted by the cochlear implants, and for the first time he or she can listen to her mother. It is an unbelievable image of how the sound create relation. No, it's not a case to mention just among thousands that the fact that Moshe, when he climbed into the holy mountain for the first time, Yahweh told him, I am I. So through the voice, God manifests itself. And after the burning bush, as you know. So I am looking forward to evaluate with you the chance to organize in presence a workshop or a course, because in my view, the interpersonal experience is more a footprint instead only of the really important, useful nowadays through Zoom or through internet, etc. But having the teacher, the immediate experience, no, is extremely important. So let me conclude a few words, because I guess that most people will leave within a few minutes our conference. That once more, I thank you so very much for your kindness to accept our invitation. Thank Anna Oliver, Edith Pucci, and Soraya Munoz for the translation. Edith for having prepared the advertising for this conference. And I hope that we can create a group, the translators, you, and in order to organize something in Bologna, because it could be nice, no? And if you have the kindness to prepare some MP3 or one MP3 with some single examples of the different styles, and I can share among the audience, etc., would be helpful. And because not to have a concrete reference to listen to, no, if you agree, no?
Yes, of course.
And we can also plan another conference or more concrete, let me say, workshop to prepare the in-presence workshop. And that's all from my side. And if you want to close your conference within the foundation of Salutogenesis, I am more than happy. Please, the last word to you.
Thank you very much, Paolo, and everybody who came to meet. So I think the conclusion is just start singing, and this is the beginning. And I'll be very happy to meet you, physical presence or online, and we can travel together more.
So we will plan together, okay?
Yes.
So thank you so very much to the audience, to you all, and follow us in our social, and we will upload the recording in native English and the other translation into our YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and the website. Thank you so very much, and good evening or good morning or good afternoon everywhere you are. And thank you once more, Alexandru.
Thank you.
Bye-bye to everyone.